Michael Brandon to talk about him. Can you talk about the conversation you had with Rod Bramblett?
Simone, let me tell you, Rod Bramblett is definitely a witness to history. In a sit-down interview, an exclusive sit-down interview you'll only see here on Fox 10, he told me that this year is something he will probably see never again in his broadcast career.
As a broadcaster, in my position, broadcasting for my school, my alma mater, we're not supposed to be middle of the road. Auburn fans listen to us because they want the Auburn perspective. You know, we try to paint a good picture. We have a great crew. We love it. And I'm the only one there that does it for a full-time job. All these other guys are there just because they love Auburn. But to think that those calls will be played over and over means so much for me, and it means so much to me because it's a positive. It puts a positive light on Auburn. People remember that play because of the amazing finish at the end of the Georgia game, the incredible finish at the end of the Alabama game. They'll also remember who was involved, and that was Auburn. And I think that in itself is what makes me the happiest. You know, I just happened to ride the bull for 8 seconds, twice. Now I did it twice, but I happened to ride the bull for 8 seconds. Any number of other broadcasters could have done it. I'm very fortunate and very honored to have been the one to get to call 2 of those. You know, the 2 calls, the Georgia call and the Alabama call, a little different.
Here's your ball game. Nick Marshall.
The Georgia call, I remembered everything I said up until the ball was caught.
It is tipped off. And Lewis got it on the deflection. Lewis is going to score. Lewis is going to score. Lewis is going to score. Touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn. A miracle in Jordan-Hare.
And I really did not know what I said in what order until I heard it after the game.
Seconds to go.
And people don't believe me. I'm saying the honest to goodness truth. The Alabama one was a little different because you could see that. It wasn't in the blink of an eye.
6-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone.
You could see that happening. So you had a little time to think about it.
45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
But I rarely think about, all right, this is what I'm going to say in this case or this case or this case, because then it's not genuine. They play the highlight montage up on the video board. After the game's over, they don't want to leave the stadium. The Georgia game and tenfold in the Alabama game with the fans all down on the field when they get to in this case, the Chris Davis return for a touchdown. I mean, they're celebrating, and when they get to that moment, silence on the field. And they listen to the call. And the reaction of the fans on the field to that call, I mean, it gets me choked up right now. It's just incredible. The moment, the emotion, we're asked to paint a picture. We're also required to describe the emotion in a big play like that. And hopefully that's what we were able to do. So, you know, a lot of it is just spontaneity. You know, you have your training and what you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to, you know, make sure the fans know what's going on. But at some point you cross that line just a little bit and you become a fan. There are very few places where you go, schools, where you can go out and say 2 words to somebody, War Eagle, and it means everything. It can mean hello, it can mean goodbye, it can mean, I mean, it's a symbol, it's a way of communicating to another person that's an Auburn fan or an Auburn alum. And I think that's just kind of a microcosm of what the Auburn family is. I mean, we care about what we do, we care about each other, we care about Auburn.
Now, Bramblett told me in 2010 he and his wife went to Glendale, Arizona for the Auburn Tigers in the BCS National Championship game, and he left his kids actually back in Auburn, and he promised them that if they ever returned to a national championship, he would take them. Sure enough, as you can imagine, Rod Bramblett is living up to that promise this year here in Pasadena, California. Now, another cool note about the Auburn Tigers radio team and the network, all of them who are involved with calling the game either attended Auburn, played at Auburn, or have been involved with Auburn athletics for the past 20 years. And Simone, as you can imagine, as you can see, that is absolutely why you hear so much enthusiasm and so much excitement in their voice, in their inflection, in when they call the game. It's definitely something that gives me goosebumps every time I hear it call those games.
It gives you goosebumps. Try standing on the sideline and experience those, Michael.
I can imagine.
Their plays, I will have memories for the rest of my life.
For
it's
sure.
just incredible. So what a great story. Thank you for that.
Not a problem.
All right, now we are just getting started with our BCS coverage here from Pasadena. Coming up a little bit later in sports, check out what we have for you. I'll have more from Auburn